Hello again, and welcome to the Corner Studio here in my garage. And I see from my high-tech teleprompter, which I typically hold up at the start of the program, it is indeed time for another episode of Friday Evening Camera Talk. This one is number 118, and we're shooting tonight on the Nikon Z9, which is our normal for the studio with the 24 to 120 lens. And we're almost ready to dive in, but I wanted to explain something to people who have kind of either newly found the channel or only just tuning in for the first time tonight. Haven't done this in a while, but we have, like for instance, the gag where I hold up this pad of paper and say it's a teleprompter. That goes back a couple of years on the channel when I saw a YouTube channel and the person was so clearly frozen on a teleprompter just reading what they were seeing that I thought I'd bring that on the program and kind of mock it one night. I didn't call the channel out or anything, but I started doing that as a gag and it caught on. So that's why I hold up the teleprompter. Now, the other basic fact about the show is that when I say it's Friday Evening Camera Talk, that means we're going to just do a lot of topics, whatever it is that I've figured out for the episode. That's different from someone, just for instance, like this 6.3 Z-mount lens. That's different from somebody holding this up and saying, I'm doing a review of this, and then you shouldn't really be talking about a lot of other stuff, just the review of the lens. And that's a more tightly formatted kind of episode, and I still do those from time to time, but mostly now, as you regulars will know, the topics are kind of folded into Friday Evening Camera Talk. So I just wanted to make new people kind of aware of that. We've got a lot of things to go through tonight. You see all this stuff on the table. I have several topics here. It's going to take us a little while, but first things first, we've got the Shimoda top loader bag here, which we just bought and introduced a couple of episodes ago. I've got my Shimoda, I think this is the V25 Explorer, which I've repacked. I'm just going to quickly show you how I've repacked that based on going out in the field a couple of times recently. And I'm going to talk briefly about these Saramonic mics. In fact, I could just do that now. You know, on the channel I've been using these Saramonic microphones, different versions. The ones that I'm holding up now is kind of an older version. It's the 500, and they have a lot of different variations of the 500. This is the Blink 500, and I have a smaller set in the house that has the little, you know, wind muff that'll go right over the microphone. This one, I've actually got this identical one hooked into the camera and this one in my pocket. I'm now running a lav mic up and trying to use them there to get a little better sound at the channel. I kind of decided to stay in the Saramonic swim lane after doing sort of a deep dive into some other mic systems, and as long as these are holding up, I'm going to stay there, and you'll probably see me just using the lav mic to try to, you know, keep, when I draw a hard breath or whatever, or just lip smacking or whatever, or you just hit it by accident, it's worse with just that, with nothing kind of protecting it. So kind of down the road, I am looking for a better set of mics, something a little more professional, and I don't want to feel pressured to buy that because what I have is working now, so I'm going to stay with it for a little while. And there's also the kind of thing in the back of my mind is that the Nikon ZR, if the wife, you know, she's using that as her grab-and-go camera kit, the ZR, and if she ever grows tired of using that as her grab-and-go kit, I might move it out here to the studio and start shooting with it, because it's got that 32-bit audio, and I think the audio is better out of the ZR because of it, but we're not making any rapid changes here with that stuff. Tell you what, I want to take a really quick break here, and we'll be right back. We're going to talk about the Shimoda top load. We still have some output out in the field with the 600. We're going to talk about the Z5ii as a wildlife rig. And I got one or two other little things I might throw in at the end. So we'll be right back in a minute. Okay, so a couple of episodes ago, I brought the Shimoda top loader bag here on and introduced it. And I had actually bought this thing thinking that the wife might put the ZR kit in it that she carries with her when she goes in and out the door. But she kind of auditioned it and still was using the Wandered waist pack style bag, and that's all right because I really like this thing when I picked it up at Kenmore, and I did audition it myself in the store. And what I have done is I kind of packed myself my Z8 kit with the 28-400 right in this bag here, and I'm going to show you how it works. We'll just pull the stuff out, and I don't keep much in this outer pocket. It's just some lens wipes and one or two odds and end items. But here in the main bag, you're going to see, I'll pull this out. This is just a Peak Design strap, which I wrap it in a t-shirt so that these metal parts aren't clinking around on my lens and my gear. This is a Ceramonic VMic Mini 2 that is my field microphone, shotgun mic, and you can see that the Nikon Z8 is just tucked in there in the bottom of the bag, nice and tidy, and it has only this one thing I have to do before I put it in, and it'll fit if I just take the Hoodman eye cup and just push it forward. And of course we've got the 28-400 lens on it, and I consider this a kit that is just ready and raring to go. And so I'm kind of auditioning this as my grab and go kit. I know you got to, your head spinning, you got to keep up with so many things on the channel, but it's strange how just getting one, different item like the Shimoda top loader bag here kind of changed the possibilities of our workflow. Now, I had also pitched this to the wife as a possible kit for her to use to, to lighten her regular camera bag, because when this zips out, you can put the 600 lens in here, and then by just kind of tamping it down in there, you see that you can just barely see the top of the 600 lens, and it would zip shut. So this bag, when it's unzipped in the bottom here, it's got a lot of capacity. And by taking one of the partitions that came with it, you can see there's room there. I actually did this. I put one of the partitions in, and I took the lens off the Z8, put the body cap on it, and tucked the Z8 in there, and it all fits. So this bag here, you save several pounds by slimming down what you carry, just carrying this bag over carrying an actual backpack, like this one. And I'm kind of transitioning. I've got a little bit of instability here at the edge of the table. I'm not gonna just sit this down and depend on it staying up with that lens in there. I'm going to scoot the 600 off to the edge there. So I think this bag here is 4.5 pounds, and this bag here is like 1.5 pounds. So you save 3.5 pounds about by not carrying this if you don't have to. And when you're tromping around out there, going up a trail or tromping around in a field somewhere, a few extra pounds, it starts to make a difference. Now, what I have done with the Shimoda V25, I think is the model, Explorer, and I'll pause here while I'm getting this thing open and make sure the regulars know I don't have a relationship with Shimoda or anybody else. Nobody's sponsoring me to try to impress you about these things, but you can see here I've got a Peak Design strap on this camera and a t-shirt there keeping it from getting scratched up. But this is the Nikon Z5ii, surprise, surprise. I have put it in my actual field kit, and I'm kind of jumping the gun here a little bit because we haven't talked about my most recent time out in the field with the Z5ii, putting, you know, the 600 lens on it and putting it up against the Z8, but we'll get to that segment a little later. This is the 400 4.5, and you can see what I have done here. That's the 24 to 70 f2.8 version 2 lens. So what I've done is high quality glass with perhaps Nikon's, you want to call it an entry-level full-frame camera, the Z5ii, you can. I'm starting to think that the Z5ii gives some really excellent output, and when you put the nicer glass on it, that gives the camera a little extra boost that it needs. I can take the Z8 out and put the 28 to 400, which is not the best lens that I have in the house, but pretty darn good for output. And we get kind of a situation here with the higher tier camera, slightly lower tier glass, whereas we have the high tier glass here with the Z5ii and the slightly lower tier body. And that's the mix that I'm going to be trying. Probably, I've already talked myself into trying it for part of April because we have still the migrations going on around here, and I'm willing to, you know, put my sentiments and ideas into practice, taking the stuff out in the field and using it. I'll let you know how things are going along, whether the strategy has worked out or not. We'll take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about having put the Z5ii up against the Z8 with the 600 6.3 lens on it. We'll be right back. All right, so what I have discovered taking the Z5ii out and using it multiple times is that this camera passes that bar for being a wildlife rig. I unquestionably will recommend this to people. The Z5ii is an acceptable wildlife rig. It's not a Z8 though. And I got to say that the Z8, if I know that I'm going out and I want the highest quality output in a session, I'm going to pick up the Z8 and I'm going to put my better glass on it. So I probably would be excluding the 28 to 400. I would have, you know, the lens contingent that I have in the bag here, the 24 to 70 f2.8, the 400 4.5, or I'd borrow the 600 from the wife and put the best glass on the best camera body that I've got and go that way. But the output is so good on the Z5ii, and for the money that you spend, I have to say, I think this is a wonderful little wildlife rig, and I don't think a person can go wrong if they're just kind of a casual shooter, putting the 28 to 400 lens on it, and just carrying that is almost like a complete combo. But anyhow, you guys let me know what you think in the comments, and I've in the past already kind of showed some photos that I took with the Z5ii, and up against the Z8 is a photographic camera. I'm not sure that they're in the same weight class. I was having trouble getting the kind of output that I needed with the photography side of the house, but I'm still tweaking the settings on this camera. For video, I see cameras that are not on par, but the Z5ii is acceptably similar, and it meets that that bar that I have for the output. Now, for the photographic side, I really haven't made up my mind yet, but let's look at those samples and we'll be right back. All right, so you just saw those samples where we put the Z5ii up against the Z8, both of them using the 600 6.3 lens for similar subjects, and I think I can recommend the Z5ii as a wildlife camera. I kind of stole part of my thunder by showing you how I had set up my Shimoda V25 Explorer bag here, and this is the rig that I'm going to be carrying with me on some of my springtime expeditions here out into the field. I've got every confidence that this camera can get decent, good quality output. I hope you guys will continue joining us here when we put up the programs, and I do thank everybody for attending tonight, and we hope to see you again soon in another video. So till then, take care.